Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back to the studio. It is your boy, Jason Gooner, and we are here to discuss EPL Week 15. This is the review show of our review shows. You don't know the thing said, people. We're going to banter each other. We're going to talk about the games, talk about the football, of course. And we're going to break it all down here on the show tonight. We're going to have the big reveal of the champion for the week, for the predictions, and also the dreaded donkey of the week. Somebody has to beat this week. It's a good bridging, but hey, so it goes sometime. You can't win them all, as my side proved this week. Yes. So it's custom when you forward to the show. If your side got 3 points this week, if your side got 3 points, let me say a big three in the comment section. I have a feeling there's not going to be as many threes this week because Arsenal didn't win, Chelsea didn't win, Liverpool didn't win. So who's putting in the comment section this week? Manchester City fans can put threes. Manchester United fans can put threes. Are there any Crystal Palace fans in the building? Because they can put threes as well. But yeah, I saw it go this week. I can't type a three in the comment section, And the good thing about this week was the first match of the week was Arsenal versus Villa. And so that means tonight on the review show, I can get that out of the way first and talk about that, get upset. And then as the show go on, I can relax, right? Because I'm bound to be upset talking about the Arsenal Villa game again. But yeah, look, it was a great weekend of football. Some high scoring games. We had a nil all this week, which is kind of rare for the Premier League lately. But yeah, we had yeah. So DJ Shatta Hennessy, big up yourself, man. Put him one. You can't even put one. It don't make sense to put zero because there's the time button. Big up Jagans there. Wait, remember in a building from Shirley. Yeah, man, we'll have to push back the show a little bit because you don't know the things. Once have to start out home base before we do any kind of YouTube things. You know that go already. Big up yourself, one. John Star, how you do? What, 3:30 over there? Big up yourself, one. Big up yourself. Yeah, man, bless up, bless up, bless up. Yeah, bro, we're there. Obviously, you know the customary thing you have to do when you're here. Please do like, share, and subscribe. That is extremely important. Let me hold on, the people may have to do something real quick. Okay. Hold on there. Here we go. There we go, guys. So come it's not doing that color. Yeah, black Kose. Black Kose people. All right. So let's we're not hiding up people. We can't hide from can't hide from it, people. It happened. We're gonna talk about it. So the first game of the week, people, and make sure you smash the like button. We have a poll in the comment section as well. Um, we'll start doing this every match week now. Please vote on your match of the week. So if you're watching on the big screen mode or the mobile mode, the poll is in both streams. So just go ahead and vote on which match for you was the match of the week. We have four options: the Aston Villa game, the Man City Sunderland 3-0, the Leeds Liverpool 3-all, and the Wolves and Man 4-1 game from today. So those are your four options for match of the week. So at the end of the show, we'll close the poll off and we can see um, which game or which match you guys thought was the best one for the week. Aston Villa Arsenal match stressed me out. Your F. Martinez is messed up. Horrible sports. Something like draw. They fear. Yeah, I mean, look, apart of Emmy's what do I call it now, him aura as a keeper. is shithousery. I have to be honest. Emi Martinez is one of the masters of shithousery in world football today. So it's not surprising that he would be doing things like that, you know? All right, so let's take a look at the screen. We're gonna bring the stats on the screen, of course, while we talk about the game. Um, but yeah, this game going into it, they were the foreign teams in the league. I think last 9 fixtures, Aston Villa had 24 points, Arsenal had 23. So it was really and truly the teams on form in terms of points collection in the league for the last, as I said, 9 games was a sample size. And really, I use that because the first 5 games, I believe Villa had 3 points, right? So they really had a tough start to the season. I think 2 losses and 3 draws were all they were able to manage. And that's pretty much when the season kick-started for them. So that's why I said the last 9 games. That would have been when they really were firing. So it was a matchup that going into it I knew would be tough, especially going into it knowing that we wouldn't have certain players in certain areas. This is not the game where you wouldn't want to have at least one of Gabriel or Saliba on the pitch. But that's the cards that we dealt right now, and we built a squad. Everybody said we have the best squad. So going into the game, I was not going to use that or think of that as an excuse. I also felt that even though Timber is a smaller player in stature for centre back role, I definitely like the fact that I knew Villa would press us, and just felt like when Timber came on for Mosquera in the last fixture, um, we looked a lot better when dealing with the press from Brentford. And so I just thought that him being the ball handler that he is, it would help us in that regard. But it did prove an issue, Timber's physicality at the position. And he definitely was targeted by Unai Emery. Anytime they went direct, it wasn't often because they did have good patience and did decide to build more and through midfield, which we're going to talk about as well. But when they did go direct and long, it's always in that left channel or right hand side. And um, the way that they had set the team up, Morgan Rogers as the player kind of most wide on the left in the system. That's why it really didn't have anybody to mark over there because Matson was going forward down the left, but all the time because of how the game was, the territory was it was a midfield battle for most of the game, and some fast breaks happening. So most of the times, the fullbacks weren't able to get into the play as much. It was like an attacker versus defense game for the most part. And what ended up happening was Watkins would always peel out to that left hand side so he could isolate with Timber, and they were winning those second balls off of that challenge or something. Um, Definitely, the tactical battle was there to see between the two coaches, and I think that the areas of the pitch that Arteta decided to freshen up, I think he neglected the main area, which was that engine room. I thought most of the game was played in the midfield, and you could see that at the end of the game, Aston Villa's midfield was a little bit fresher. I think that's kind of what made the difference in those last 10 minutes plus the injury time. Because I think, in that second half, Arsenal looked the more likely to get the second for most of that second half. But then when the game was ending, it kind of flipped. And Aston Villa definitely looked like they were the more likely to get that second goal and get the 3 points. And they did in the end, last maybe when a sub came on and made a difference. So, yeah, let's just take a look at the stats. Just the raw. Um, Arsenal had 53% possession to 47 for Aston Villa. The expected goals, I think this is like maybe the first time since the first game of the season against United that we actually lost the game in unexpected goals. So they had 2.16, we had 1.92, so pretty close. And you can see the big chances as well, 5-4. So, Arsenal has prided itself on really low expected goals against and really limiting big chances in matches against. And they see over 2 expected goals for Arsenal, a lot, and 5 big chances in one match. That's a lot for Arsenal as well. Um, Both teams had 15 shots. Emma made 7 saves. Brian made 4. Both had 3 corner kicks. Passes pretty close, but about 50 more for Arsenal attempted. You see the yellow cards, 2 to Arsenal, none to Villa. Shots on target, Arsenal had 9, they had 6. Let's see, shots inside the box, shots outside the box. Something that Arsenal don't do often, but they were shooting from outside the box on this day. Um, 13 shots inside the box. That's troubling, troubling there. Too many. One big chance scored for both teams, and 4 of the big chances missed by Villa, 3 big chances missed by Arsenal. So both teams not the most clinical, but I think some of those big chances you have to put it down to good goalkeeping as well. 43, 33 touches inside the box. So you see Villa got into the opponent's box more, had more touches. See the entries, Arsenal did lead that 59-53, but both teams um, getting into the final third at a decent clip. See, 40% of the game was right there in the midfield, which is normal, but I think that's where the game was won on the day by Villa. Ground duels, aerial duels. So Arsenal, were winning duels. But I think after that winning of the duel, I wish they had a second ball percentage because I swear Arsenal was about 10% for the win, maybe 20 at the most. Villa was going long, but they were effective doing it. Arsenal were whipping in the crosses, tackles, interception, recoveries, clearance. 4 errors by Villa leading to shots, and the error and an error led to the goal as well. Ghana in midfield. Arsenal had that 1 error leading to a shot. But you see the difference in the goalkeeping, negative point zero 0.01, 1.07 prevented, one big save. I don't know how they don't count Riot's save and Watkins as a big save. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, let me check in with the comment section before we start going into the game breakdown. Martinez is the worst. Great goalkeeper, though. Emery is pound for pound the league, in my opinion. Yeah, it's hard to argue that. I think him and Oliver Glasner there as well in terms of pound for pound. You, BBK Sports, big up yourself, the legend in a building. People, if you haven't already, go check out BBK Sports platform. Very, very knowledgeable on the football. Very good reasoning held and that and he shows his it. You don't have to be an Arsenal fan. He's a gunner like me, but yeah, man, all kinds of fans in his community. So don't feel like you have to be a gunner. Bless up gigs, what go on. Bless up Jagans, your surface. Yeah, man, me there. You're there wait, but you have to deal with something that they had. I didn't say it before, but I was saying to myself, Villa wasn't going to let it be an easy game for Arsenal. Yeah, going into it, we knew. I mean, based on the form, actually said, buen dia. Big up yourself, Chile. Mr. Good evening. Yeah, man. Some rotted meme. Good evening, brother. I get meme till my week. Hey, one thing, Arsenal fans, one of the two people out there in the world, but the joy where people get in on Saturday morning there, mm, make everybody weekend better. I did say Lewis Kelly didn't start Arsenal won't win. Calafiori is a little hot-head and have to play the whole and soft just not to get the red. I don't know, man. DJ Shatter Hennessy, I totally disagree with you. I don't think Lewis Kelly showed me anything this season to say he must bench Calafiori. I think honestly, bro, all right. We did hear somebody said this earlier on. I think it was JD talking about it, and he said a part of why Calafiori have to collect so much red, yellow so far is because of the role him a play. Like if you notice, every time you get a yellow this season, is in other team half just about, you know. Him on the wrong side and him a chase and him just pull back the player. Almost every yellow card him get. So when you have him in a role like that, and it's basically a free role. When we have the ball, the man go anywhere. Play striker, left wing, central midfield, left left midfield, everywhere. So if he's gonna have that kind of freedom and then you expect him to be back to defend, I just feel like that going happen. Yeah, exactly. It's almost like Arteta say, "I'm gonna live with those," you know. And the thing is, I think Calafiori to me, like he definitely plays on the edge, but I think you have a good point in the sense that he kind of has to change his game slightly when he's on the yellow. So how much does that take from his actual game? But I think he still tackles and stuff on a yellow, and he's still effective. So until he gets a second yellow or something like that, I can't really, I think he trusts himself playing on a yellow. I feel like I trust him somewhat on a yellow because he could have taken him off halftime and never did that. Playing some more at first. Like it's not halftime when he come off. Was it? No, it was halftime. No, it wasn't at halftime. Yeah, I didn't think so. Because I never get the yellow card until the 72nd minute. So yeah. But so yeah, look, the game itself, right? So the first half, I think Arsenal started okay. I thought both teams kind of took a second to really get into fully. Um, but I think Arsenal did have the better of the opening exchanges, just like gameplay is like territorially and just the team looking more likely. To be honest, the first big chance of the game fell to, fell to Aston Villa, and came it fell to my boy the name Ollie Watkins, and he had it on his left foot, and it was a good. Basically, Brian did very well to not show his hand which way he was thinking he was gonna shoot. He stood tall till late, and the shot was close enough to him that he could react and get the save on it. But that was the first one inside that Watkins was kind of on it that day. Um, he proved to be an issue for us for most of the game. I was actually surprised when he came off when he did, and I was kind of thankful for that because Marlon is good as well. But I thought the reason why Watkins was so effective was just the physicality he was giving in Nkapie and Timber. Timber especially. So when he came off, I was pleased. But basically, in that first half, what ended up happening is a lot of the attacks from Arsenal. I would say, um, sometimes when you see a team attacking and you feel like a goal is coming in a way. I never really got that sense in the first half for some reason. I don't know what it was, but I think probably the best chance fell to probably Ben White, I think. Even though there was a headed chance for Saka, which I thought at the time it was offside, but it wasn't actually offside, and that was a chance as well. If he crossed the ball, I think it might have been Ben White. And then Ben White had a chance from Saka when he beat Matson down the right hand side and cut it back to Ben White, and he could only shoot pretty much at the feet of Martinez. But yeah, a lot of these shots in the first half were either blocked or the keeper didn't have to make any kind of big save. It was a good shot by Saka, was saved. Odegaard had a shot low as well, but that was easy for the keeper. And then when you look at Aston Villa now, their shots in the first half, what chance I talked about. Uh, on that right hand side, and this was like almost a preview to the goal. This one, Declan Rice was able to cover, catch was free down the right hand side of a counter. Ali again, then Matty this was the goal. Um, Counter down the left hand side, catch again. At the time was covered by Eze, but when the ball came in, it was flicked on. This is where the physicality of Timber came in. The ball, the height of that cross, if that's Mosquera, Saliba, even Ben White playing centre back, he's probably tall enough to jump and head that away. Whereas Timber was only able to glance it onto the back post, and Eze fell asleep. You could see on the replay, he turns and looks back and see him. He just knows like he has fucked up royally. And Cash, he's been doing this, to be honest, this season. If him get a chance at that back post, he's pretty accurate with his shot. So, I believe he really was going for in between the legs there because if he kicks it to the right or left foot, I think Ryan does see it with his feet. But it was like placed right in between the wickets, and that made it 1-0. I could just feel at the time that Eze just felt, oh, I really messed up, and he wasn't even doing much in the game other than some silky little touches on the wing and keeping possession and ball retaining. He wasn't driving at the defense at all in the game. Um, he was playing off the left, which I don't think is his best position, but I also don't think it's like somewhere that he can't play. I don't. It's not his best position. Yes, it's not. But the way that Arsenal play, even like Trossard, for example, Trossard doesn't always receive the ball. Like Trossard kind of goes central, gets in the half pocket. Eza can do the same type of thing when he's out there. But I think the difference with Trossard, even though he doesn't have speed, he kind of technical ability to get where he wants to go. So he might body and that will get him the yard he needs. Eza can do similar things, and Eza has more speed than even Trossard. So, I just don't see why he was playing so controlled on the day because there were times when he got the ball and I'm thinking, take him on, comfortable, acting like he was going to take him on and then turning it back and kind of rotating the play. Um, and who knows, maybe an instruction, because I just felt like he was playing, but we'll never know because he can come back out for the second half. And that's really where I want to start the discussion about the coach. So at halftime, Arteta, seeing that things are not going well, I think once they got that goal, I think Arteta kind of knew he had to change something. So I think when you looked at the starting lineup, right, Mikel Marino, I think that's probably his worst game of this recent run of games. Nothing was going on for him. He couldn't follow. He was not a threat in the box at any play that I can remember. Um, he usually is able to drop back into the midfield and kind of create that extra body so that we don't get outplayed in that midfield. That wasn't happening in the first half. So yeah, he just was overall ineffective. And I think where the miscalculation came in for Arteta in this particular game, I was saying Marino as well, just based on his form or when he's been playing. But to be totally honest, Aston Villa, you have to be able to stretch them. And with Saka and Eze on the field already, Saka, for him to get in behind, it has to be perfect. The timing, the run, the pass, everything has to be perfect. It's not just blazing. It's not the same thing. He's really going to want to come get the ball to feed most of the time. Marino the same. So against a Villa, like to press high, like to play a high line, we did not even force them back at all due to the lack of a direct vertical threat, right? And people will say, boy, Martinelli played like crap in the game before. But for me, if you're going to start Marino and Saka, Martinelli had to be the player to start on the left for me because of what I just talked about. You have Matty Cash there on the right, who likes to get forward. Kanza, Torres always play a high line in order to upset that and make the field bigger so that they don't. Because the problem against Villa was they squeezed the pitch on us. We couldn't really operate in those little tiny areas. then the opposite was happening against us. They were playing narrow, but somehow still like having space in the middle areas. And the reason for that was whenever they start the build up narrow, their outlet was to the wing. And once the ball got into the middle third and the wing, they had space to run into and they stretched thing around the back. When they played that through that sweet ball back to the middle, entering that attacking third, constantly Rogers, Tielemans, McGinn were having that space in that half space to do what they want to do. And that to me was perfect by Aston Villa because what it forced us to do was expand. Every time we were getting ready to get set, they would find a pass that would make us get stretched. And so they were a compact team, but they were able to just open us up. Mainly because I thought in that midfield area, especially after the spell in the second half where we were looking like we were gonna get a goal, that was when something needed to happen in that engine room. Now, Zubimendi and Rice and Odegaard, the stats look fine, 6.8, 6.97. But if there was a stat for like after the 80th minute, I think all of them would be in the fives because they were just dead. They were dead on their feet. And, you know, when you look to the bench, we made the five subs. Really, the sub shouldn't have happened. It's only happening because Trossard's on a minute restriction, 40 minutes or less. So put him on at half time, he had to come back off, right? Um, what just happened a while ago? Yeah, we had to take him off we had to take him off and bring on Martinelli. So Martinelli did come on late, but for me, Norgard, why is he on the team? Why is this guy on the team? Arteta, please answer me. Why did you get Christian Norgard for? Because example, right? Onana wasn't having the best game, but Onana is a clearly superior player to Lamar Bogarde when you're talking about a central midfielder. But that didn't stop Emery from taking off Onana, bringing on Bogarde, bringing on Sancho. He did make a defensive sub as well. Paul Torres was dead. And you don't ever see that in the game where they're taking off a centre back. But when I Emery say, yo, the man tired, look like he wants to make a mistake. Let me take him off. And I don't think any of these players made mistakes, but I think the fatigue and the mental fatigue is what got us out in the end. Because even on the goal that they scored, Martin Odegaard is literally standing right. Everybody, all of his teammates are on the ground, slider ready for block a shot. Them can't get up quick enough to do anything. Odegaard is just standing there, in a row. I don't know what he was doing. But he doesn't have that instinct, right? And sometimes people say, okay, Trossard had to come off. Calafiore probably had to come off. Madueke didn't do nothing for Saka when he came on. But I guess Saka was on a yellow too. Maybe him protecting that. I don't know. I don't know. But for me, Christian Norgard had to come on. I understand Eze was playing in the first half, but oh man, I don't know, man. Trossard came on for Eze, right? Which Trossard to me was the best player for us in an attacking sense all game, right? And he played 41 minutes and he scored a goal and he was a threat pretty much the whole time he was on the field. Um, so I can't really beat that change itself. But I will say like Eze is just a player that will give you moments, right? Especially a player like him, knowing that like he was kind of the cause of us being down almost directly because it was his man that being free because he kind of fell asleep. And he knows that. So for me, a player of his quality is like I find a way to at least give him a 10, 15 minutes in the second half just to be like, okay, let me try at least get us back a goal, get us back in the game, maybe even two, so that we're winning the game or something. But no, the pitch, Odegaard stays on the pitch. Um, it's clear that in that role in the midfield, Arteta doesn't trust Eze as much. But I think Arteta should remember when Odegaard wasn't around, there's some crucial moments in games that happened this year. The Man City goal was Eze's ball, right? There's another play that I can't remember right now, but it was a pass from Eze in that midfield area that pretty much caused the goal to score. And I just feel like with him being a moments type player, for me right now, it's like could he have sacrificed? It's tough. It's tough because Odegaard wasn't playing badly. You know, he wasn't playing badly, but I don't know, man. We were getting overrun in the midfield, and I just feel like Eze is a better athlete than Odegaard at the end of the day. Like, the work rate of Odegaard is higher, but if you can, you're just running beside people, you're not tackling anybody. I mean, what's the point? But he got a 6.9, and he sees expected goals and assists. He had three key passes, one big chance created as well. Um, see the passing, three shots all on target, one offside. He had 7 recoveries, 3 out of 10 ground duels, one interception, one tackle as well. So not bad. So we Mendy in that midfield, 6.8, 94%, 100%, 4 possession loss out of 59 touches. Didn't win a tackle at 3 interception, 4 clearance. 1 out of 3 ground duels, 3 out of 3 aerials, and he did commit a foul. Not bad, but nothing incredible. Rice had the highest score out of the three. One big chance created, 2 key passes, 3 out of 5 accurate crosses, 90% passing, 2 shots, one on target. 8 touches, 10 times him lose the ball. That's not bad. 2 for 2 tackles, 2 interception, 5 clearance, 2 block shots, 10 recoveries. This guy is a beast. 2 out of 3, 2 out of 2. Brother, I don't know how this man can drop down on the field, man. Then White, copy, right. But yeah, Gyökeres came on halftime, and apart from the first initial spell of the second half, where he looked decent, he was like non-existent. The man that take a shot, 11 touches, and lose the ball 6 times, 57% passing, 1 recovery, 1 clearance. Just not good enough. Just not good enough, man. Trossard did his thing, but Buendia and Sancho did well when they came on. So, we had one sub do well. All the rest of the subs really never did much. Didn't really influence the game much. Skelly was looking very, very nervous in his cameo as well. But yeah, we fell 2-1. Unai Emery gets another one over on Arteta. And it was a big win for them, solidified the big run of form they've been on. And yeah, they plant themselves firmly in the conversation. Now up to third with the win. So Aston Villa 2-1 over Arsenal at the death. Emi Buendia with the goal, and that goal, brother, I watched that replay about 100 times, and it's just hilarious how many things had to happen for that goal to score. It started from Nkapia winning the ball, trying to use his bloody foot, dribbling towards the right sideline. Just because he might try to use him left foot, him couldn't get control of the ball properly. Push it too far, go out for a throw. Quick throw, cross to the back stick, cross back in, head it back. Timber initially makes a rotted slide tackle to block when the first shot with him left foot. Bounce back, it gets back to Buendia again somehow. He loses it, falls down, it goes to Kamara next. Kamara kind of loses it on the ground. Him on the ground with Timber. The ball squirt over to So when him the Buendia and had to take one step at early and just for that to happen, how perfectly it did, it's just like it was meant to be that we lose the damn game. It just there's nothing we could have do to not lose the game because how that last goal score was like a movie. Trust me, the amount of bounces and things that happened for that ball to land back to Buendia right there. Just it was meant to be. It was meant to be for us to lose. Right, so it's what it is. 2-1. After dust yourself off. Champions League this week, which we'll talk about. But yeah, 2-1 last, brother. Bun me, bun me, bun me, bun me. Lesson for Arteta, engine room need to make sure it's these these kind of games against the better team. You can't sub off the attack of them, but none of your midfield, the engine room. So when the engine start run out of, you have to sort it. So that's my little advice to you, Sir Arteta. Please, the engine room needs some sprucing up when the game get mad like that. Remember tell me, say, boy, you have to double sub Trossard and all right, so here's the thing, right? If you know say Trossard can't play over X, and the blood clot you bring him on before that point. If you know he can play 40 minutes, bring him on 60 minutes then. So even if 10 minutes of injury time play, he can play. Now you use an X sub when I really want to man I need a sub in the end. But you never have no more because this man with the yellow card late. I take off Saka with the yellow card late. I say, boy, you know? Oh boy. Enough for this damn game. Me done. Enough for this damn game. Let me see what the people must say. I'm go up on a long piece of rant a while ago. Alright. Goals and yellows are crucial moments. Okay, we saw that. Anthony Taylor did a good job of keeping the game running. Him still full it up with drama though. Yeah, it wasn't his worst performance, I have to be fair. Scramble at the end, he could have done better, in my opinion. All he had to do was stay on them feet. Alive and gone. Yeah, but the thing is, Jaguars, you said that, but what me just say a while ago, the first initial block, was a rapid slide tackle by Timber, that should have scored from earlier, When the ball head back across, fall right to when they are left foot, and him raw it, The man just slide tackle and hold up him and it block the ball. So without that, the goal score a long time. So yeah, hindsight, yeah, I say boy, the rest of them should have stood up. But remember, on that save, that slide tackle stopped the goal. And there were other people around standing that were just standing. They could have run and try to get the fucking ball. One boss. Hit the like and subscribe. Big up us. We don't have the Maybach music for play, but you don't know the thing though. Yeah man, big up, big up. Yeah, assembled. Yeah man, it's man. Big up yourself, man. Marina in my FPL. So, they said, you start. Yeah, let me see. Do you think Eze was vexed? Vexed to come off halftime or vexed that he let the man run behind? Which one? I think he was visibly vexed about the letting the man run behind. And I'm pretty sure he had to be vexed that he must have at halftime. I'm sure. I mean, if he was playing the best, like I said about Trossard, I mean, no one only have this amount of time. Don't bring him on before that time. Because now you have just taken another sub away from yourself. If you're not coming back off. Odegaard should not have played, but he's a favorite, so I'll always play when fit. It's not right. As I was doing well in the middle, but gets pushed out wide. Yes, one that is really the crux of the matter, right? The whole reason why we're talking about is losing a mark on the left wing uh, is because Odegaard is back and the coach don't see it fit to bench him. So he wants to play Eza and he wants to play Odegaard. Odegaard can play left wing in this system, I guess. I don't know why not. Why can't play Odegaard? So hit the like and subscribe to the channel. Yeah, man, let them know. The coach runs everyone into the group. He rotates horribly. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. You have this squad and you build this squad, and we don't get to see the other players until man injured. No, Big up Conrad. Also going with that thing over the league, eh? As I can't play on the right at the same time as soccer. Great he gets lost. Yeah, he plays the way the system like how we play. Yeah, but the thing is, what Arteta need to tweak it then. 4-2-3-1. As a play behind the striker. Let Saka play on the right. Let move on the left, play on the left. And that way there you have Declan and stop making Declan this, Frank Lampard player. Like let him sit with Zubimendi. And yes, he can go forward, but want him to sit more than anything. And then that way now you have Calafiori doing his madness. You have a more solid base defensively now. Yeah, you want to drop out the guy. That is clear. And him have to go drop him. And that may I tell you. In the biggest game, them drop. Start as another role. I'm telling you. You know, buy into this. I don't buy into this. Like them man, they just like other guy something they're linked. Why not? Other guy and Saka well moment on the wing. It can't work, because we see games this season where him look decent on the wing when he come out against Liverpool playing that position. I think it was Forest and he got the cross into the box playing the left wing and he had a good first half in that game as well. So I mean, I do think he'll influence the game more if he plays the other guard role. Definitely. But I'm not gonna sit here and say he can't be effective playing that where he played. I'm not gonna say that. I think he's effective there for England. I know Palace system is different, but it's a little more of like a 10, But he, Arteta has to tweak the system some kind of way, for it to work. Yeah, man, City and Villa forward in. We see them. Some players have to be informed to play, others are favorites, and no matter what. Sad, but it's true. Manners and manners, Eras, yeah, man, aliens. So, is the media beat him because he don't want people say why his captain dropped. Martin Keown gave Odegaard man of the match. He was watching a different game to everyone else. Clown. Yo, Martin Keown is literally delusional. Swear, man is delusional when it comes down to Arsenal. Yeah, man, it was meant to be. Like all them madness we go on for the goal to score. Trust me, you couldn't have tell me say I score like with them. Watching the game was one of them was the big team and leave it. Yeah, look, Aston Villa is a very good team. Very good team. And there were times of the game where we looked the better team, times when they looked better team. But I think it was definitely a game of spells. But I will say that even when we had the spells, they were a constant threat. I think there were stretches of the game where we weren't a threat. So in that sense, I can agree with your comment. Emery is a better manager than Blunderman. He has proven that over and over. That's not just experience, it comes down to common sense. Yeah, look, people love to have the argument, and they'll say, boy, Arteta has finished higher and this and that. But I think Emery hasn't had the type of team that Arteta has had, especially not this season. Maybe when they had Bailey and Diaby and some of those players, and they were just building this team, it was a little more like close in terms of just player for player. But now, surely, Arsenal should be more than 3 points better than you after 15 games. Yeah, man, the pressure is there, brother. It's a Premier League, Never for a minute did I think it wouldn't be, you know, back and forth happening. Like, I don't think we're gonna just lead the league forever. We must stumble at some point. But the thing about this league is, I think teams will stumble, like period. You know, Villa on a good run, but we saw how they started the season, so that's not out of their heads altogether. One bad result, one little stumble, and you start to your confidence waver a little bit. You have championship side rules at home next. Yeah, I mean, Wolves today, oh my gosh, like some of the goals they conceded is just literally schoolboy. As I took over Palace, they finished even before I took over Villa were in a relegation fight. Emery's pound for pound the best coach in the league, in my opinion. Yeah, look, I was just throwing Glasner name out there as a potential, like say, but I do agree that Emery to me is up there pound for pound for sure, as probably the best. Yeah. Well, so without the set piece coach, we are mid table. As I was vexed to be moved. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Was he vexed to be moved out there? I mean, look, it did that play a role in how he played on the day? Maybe, maybe, um, maybe. The Trossard goal was like a superhero. Don't forget Jesus and Havertz coming back too. Can't wait to see what Arteta does in the next few weeks. Eros, you're right, because I think for him having these injuries, it takes the pressure off him a little bit because we can't scrutinize his decisions as much because he don't have much choice. And like in a lot of positions, he must have to play the man that's fit. But when these bodies start to come back now up front, three, four strikers available to you, you have all four of your wingers available to you. What are you gonna do week to week? You replay once, boy, Jagans. I wish I could have watched it once. Amount of time I watch it back, brother. Come on, like me really I try to see like what's happening. It's gonna daily laugh. Rice has energy but no quality on the ball when he gets forward. And that's what I'm saying. Stop trying to make him Lampard. Like just let him play where he plays. London man gonna do some nonsense. 5 games, every 3 wins, Arteta 1 win, 1 draw. See there? If you guys have been a long time ago, because a lot of people say, and how can you argue that? All I would say is, I think the only league him win, PSG. I think, which look, we're not from that, but when he was the PSG manager, I think he was winning like every time. Maybe he didn't even win when he was at PSG. Was that one of the years they didn't win? Let me not talk. Let me not misspeak about Una. 'Cause I don't want so because we are fair, I got really titles. Una is title. Bag of trophy though. Okay, he did win 17, 18, but he never win the league 16, 17. So he win Super Cup over the French Cup. Of course, him have the 4-time Europa League winner. Probably the biggest achievement. So all the trophies are from PSG. 4 times Europa League winner. Back to back to back with Sevilla. Of course, Villarreal in 2021. They beat Liverpool here. Was it Liverpool? I remember who they beat. Or maybe one of his Sevilla teams beat Liverpool. So you go. I don't remember. Right. Wolves are absolutely awful. The coach is terrible. The first goal, Maka caught on the ball, but there was one defender back. Where the fuck were the other two? Yeah, and that guy was a midfielder. So I'm thinking it must have been like some kind of set piece before that. And all I saw was the replay of that goal. Like I missed that goal live. 4-4-2 inverting into a 2-3-4-1 at the attack. If you are struggling to organize your team and get them in a basic shape, I couldn't believe what I was watching today. Yeah, it was ridiculous. Like the goal they conceded, Mbuemo's goal, literally an attack from the Bellegarde over dribble it. And from that, It was literally like one, two, three passes, and it was a goal. And it was like, and then the goalkeeper, I don't know what the hell he was doing. Like he's out of his box. I don't know what he was doing there. Like that team is a comedy. The thing is, look at Team Emery play. Okay, so yeah, I say them need to play some side. 10 likes on one side, and then the other side, yeah. Let me know. One day Wolves would hire me. Exactly what PSG, yes, they did. People forget. I'm sure you will do better than what I did today. Yeah, man, smash up a like button, man. Over the two platform, man, we can reach 50 tonight, man. Come on. Era's the most worrying thing about London, man. Talk to him. He's a bit foolish. When Emery was fucking up Prime Man United with Sevilla. Emery's like Tuchel play for right now. Can't believe Wolves give Man U hope. I tell you, the Man U fans, that's all them have right now, is hope. So let's have it, brother. All right. This blood chat. No, done with them. Done with them for right now. Off. Hold on. All right. Bournemouth, Chelsea. This was the nil all for the week. But to be honest, I mean, it could have gone either way. Both teams had some decent chances. You see the stats in the game. Bournemouth had a little bit higher, 1.42 to 0.92. Chelsea had a 61 to 39 possession advantage. Only one big chance in the game fell to, um, fell to Bournemouth, and it fell to Evan Nielsen. I don't know how the man missed from right or so, but yeah, wasn't his best. Wasn't his best effort. Semenyo, as usual, taking like a million shots, 13 shots to 11, 5 saves for Sanchez, 4 for Petrovic. Petrovic keeping against his former club, of course. Shots on target, 5 to 4. Chelsea hit the woodwork in the game. One big chance miss. Chance of the match. Chelsea had 66 entries to 59. Pass in the final third. Both keepers in the positive for goals prevented. And they both had one big save in the game. So these were the lineups that started the game. And we played a deeper role in the midfield this time. Senesi had to go off injured in the 62nd minute. Not good for my FPL, but hopefully I'm all right. Well, see what go on in the press conferences throughout the week. Brooks Clivert, Adley came on for Jimenez. Enes Unal back from injury. Came on for Wilson late. Now Chelsea, they went with the lap up front. Joe Pedro was on the bench. Estevao was on the bench. Um, but the lap only lasted 38 minutes. I think it was a shoulder injury. And Giu came on. He was ineffective on the pitch. And well, Palmer was off by the 58th minute, still trying to get back his full fitness. Joe Pedro came on for him, and Estevao finally came on for Garnacho in the second half, about the 77th minute. He was ineffective on the day. Um, Look, I think our draw in this game was probably a fair enough result. Um, Chelsea just didn't have that creativity, that execution in the final third that they would need. I mean, they had a lot of control of the game and the football, and I think they had on the longer spells a good play, but it just wasn't enough incision. It wasn't enough getting in behind. Like I said, the quality in the final third was just lacking throughout the game. Um, to be fair on both sides, but I do think that one should feel okay with a point. I mean, yes, they've been on a bit of a slide in terms of the results, but Chelsea is a top team, and I think for them to keep a clean sheet, which they hadn't done in a while actually. That should give them a little bit of confidence. And on another day, one of their chances could have been converted, especially Evan Nielsen. I don't think he misses that. If you give him five more chances to do that, he'll probably score all five. So, um, nil-nil, this one ended. I don't think Chelsea really probably wanted this point. They would have wanted to get 3 points, I'm sure. But based on the performance, based on the lot of clear goal scoring chances that they would have been able to create, I think, on a day like this, they can say, okay, we didn't lose the game. So they got a point again in this one. Chelsea, Bournemouth. I'd say the big talking point from this game for Bournemouth, they hadn't done that in a while. And Chelsea, defense proving that it's not as bad as people thinking it was going to be. I think the problem for Chelsea is, if guys don't play who played on this game, it's, it's the suspects that would be playing that's the problem. The body shields of the world. Uh, yeah. Chelsea nil, Bournemouth nil. Not the best result, but both teams take that one. Now Everton, team that was showing against, they were able to win this one 3-0. Probably the most comprehensive win of the season. This was how they started out. Dewsbury Hall on a slightly more um, reserve role in the midfield, but in terms of being a little bit more of a double pivot in this midfield, but still had the freedom to get forward, and he got forward early in the game. Um, would turn out wide to beat his mark, and then the cross all Milenkovic was able to do was redirect it into his own net. So that made it 1-0 very early in the game. I think about the seconds or so. Then right at the end of the first half, good counter pressing in midfield, they win the ball, and there goes off on a run with it. Good runs as well. One runner ran to his right. Barry started central, curled his run around to the left hand side, and ended in the most delicate little pass. Didn't even pass, just kind of set it for Barry to run into and finish far post. That made it 2-0. And then the third goal, they were made to wait until late, but it was a very good strike with his weaker foot. Dewsbury Hall low through traffic to the far post to make it 3-0. And Nottingham Forest was not able to get on the score sheet at all in this particular matchup. Sean Dyche happy with that result, but he made three changes at halftime, trying to get them back into the game. One of those changes only lasted about 14 minutes. He had to come off 17 minutes. And then that was it. He didn't make any more subs. But he does have quite a few players out, I long term Zinchenko, Chris Wood, uh, Awani and Douglas Louise were both doubtful but didn't make the match day squad. So yeah, that was it. Gibbs White and Hutchinson played poorly, and Jesus, but he didn't sub any of them off. Um, so yeah, it wasn't a good day. One to just forget, dust off yourself. But Everton, continue to have some decent form. Um, and they got a goal out of a striker, which is rare for them. And Dewsbury Hall has consistently been one of the better players the last 4 or 5 weeks. So I have to start to give him some more credit because he's showing some consistency of this type of performance now. So he's from England. I don't know why I thought he was from some Northern Ireland or something like that. So yeah, Dewsbury Hall people. I think if he keeps this up, Tuchel will have no choice but to give him a look in and just see what's going on. If he can keep this type of form up till March, because I saw Scott get a call up, I saw Wharton get a call up. He can Elliot Anderson got a call up. So he's been trying to find some other midfielders. And I think Dewsbury Hall might be a player that he wants to take a look at. Very technical, can play attacking, can play deeper in the midfield as well. Yeah, he's young too. I think he's only like 23. Oh, he's up to 27 now. So yeah, it's around that time when he's approaching his peak. So maybe it's too far fetched. Let me know what you guys think. But I think he has a lot of quality, man. Very good level too. Is James Garner English too? He's Scottish. Oh, he's English too. Damn, yo, he my baller to you. Technician. My audio shaky? Really? Why? Why my audio shaky? God. Oh, I think I know why. I think I started it now. Yeah, they did sack him, but 7 trophies in 2 seasons. Man, they really want the Champions League, brother. That's it. Coach one speed would get in touch with you. He need coaches better than Garden. Chelsea's a disgrace. What the hell is Liam Delap doing? Man, have zero influence in the game. They'd be better starting George, don't it? Shatter Hennessy, them say a whisper, RIP Chelsea's title charge. They say it lasted what? A month? If you take everything into consideration, losses, draws, injuries, Arsenal are 4 points short of where they should be. 4 points short? Yeah, I think we should have gotten at least a point in the Liverpool game. Um, the Sunderland game, we played so horribly and still got a point. Like if we just played half decent, we win the game. We played like crap in that game to me. Um, at least we played like crap in the second half. Ran out of steam again, and we didn't have any subs up front that day. Games like these, we need to give the Cobham kids a chance to shine. I think Maresca needs to take the shackles off and allow them to play freely in the final third and do the robotics vibe otherwise. Yeah, I think Maresca and Arteta have a similar issue with controlling the damn players. Because Chelsea's team was more exciting last season. I think he has got, I wouldn't say he's like gone full pragmatic, but you can see like it's so much more structured attacking wise now. There's a lot more fluidity and freedom last season in the attack to me. Maybe but then their defense is a lot better this year. And I think that's a part of the reason why. It's just like what Arteta did in the beginning. We used to score a lot of goals, or we used to concede a lot of goals. And then he's like flipped and gone totally the other side. No. Yeah, man, Shirky's a beast. Yo, them will tell you, Skull, all of them. When them ask me, before season, like who would I want to get? Ryan Shirky, me did say, Ryan Shirky. That's where I said Arsenal should get. And look how the man a move. And of course, City by him. Pep watch the show. Elliot Anderson seems to be the only one on the team interested in working with Dyche's strategy. I'm seeing the same vibe Liverpool has. Forest must have the advantage because they're avoiding relegation. Hmm. Dewsbury Hall, I think, was a bad sale from Chelsea. Well, Chelsea had like 75 million players. That's the problem. So, we should have kept him. Whisper can get a chance if he keeps his head on his shoulders. Yes, they do. Very robotic systems, no freedom at all. Yeah, when I was watching this Bournemouth game, pieces of it against Chelsea, I was like, yo, this. I'm thinking, what does this remind me of? And I was like, had a light bulb moment, and I was like, yo, I see him. So Arteta move sometime with the tactics. See him way. And it's like it makes sense why the man now boss Estivo, because Estivo is such a like he's so the opposite of that. Like he has to have these freedom moments in order to be great. And it's like him know that. So I say, yo, I can't too overuse you because you're gonna go away from what I want. Not a better feeling when that skill comes off and executed. You see it. When Arteta took over, we were bus parkers for 2 seasons. Then we started scoring and playing more freely, but he has reverted back to defensive football. That's what he is at heart. Mikel Moyes. Yeah, I think because he was with Pep last, it's like people just, but he spent the most time with Moyes for real. Look back at the Arsenal Chelsea game, robotic as F, even with Caicedo. Yeah, no, Chelsea was beating us in like physicality. It wasn't about football or brilliant passing moves. No, they were just winning second balls, winning the first ball. Just it looked like they had an extra player. You know what I mean? Yeah, Estevao. But I mean, think about it. What team could Estevao go to and him wouldn't be like coached, like overcoached? Because all of them do it. Even Savinho. I remember watching Savinho at Girona, and I compared to what him looked like at City. And yeah, you get a glimpse every now and again when him first come. But look at him now. It's almost like they've sucked all the little things he had out of him. Like him don't play the same anymore. Like trust me, Girona. Just type in Savinho, Girona highlights. Blood, yo. Trust me. At them time, they want to play some ball. Chelsea were constantly sprinting, breaking so fast. They outrun us, and that really happens. Yeah. And that to me was why we look so lost in the game, because Arteta is like, that's the one thing that we never lose in. And they're beating us in that. We are effed. We don't have nothing we can do now. Look at Chelsea in the Champions League games, freedom like dirt, but in the EPL, yeah, yeah. It's almost like him say, okay, today express yourselves because we're back to rigid land on the weekend. Do you think Arsenal are progressing under Blunderman? He hasn't got the ability to do what he's thinking, in my opinion. He's not good or bad, but he's not ready yet. I just feel like he has to accept that he can't control everything. Like he's trying to literally like micromanage every little thing about every little thing. And it's like, when players talk about it, and I think it's a part of the reason why like players typically say good things about him, even opposing coaches and everything, because he's really, you can tell he probably like literally thinks of everything. Savinho now goes by Savio. The Eno is not there right now. When the thief, the Eno. So yeah, look, are we progressing? I think for a while we progressed, and right now we're just in this like limbo place where like no matter what happens, he can only be judged on what the end of the season looks like. So him could have win 8 in a row from now till whenever that is, and people always gonna say, but what will happen in May and April when so it right now it's just literally win or you're out, bro. Literally, that's the only, and to me, people say like, oh, if he wins the FA Cup, da, da, da. No, it has to be the league or the Champions League. If you don't win one of those two, what's the point? What's the point? Because I feel like even with all the injuries and everything, we have the squad to do things. I don't care what nobody say. We're not perfect, like we have all these strikers. I don't know if we have the prototypical Arsenal striker right now on the team, like for how the man want to play and everything. I don't know if that's there, but even still, like you have enough pieces. The only place that I worry about is the engine room in terms of injuries. Like if Rice were to get injured, I don't know if we'll have what it takes without him. Because for all one would say without the quality and everything, what he does, everything else he does is so needed the way we play. That I just don't know if we survive him being down. But other than him, um, I feel like even with if all right, so we can't have 3 centre backs out. Having just Timber as like not Timber, Justin Capie really as the center back. Calafiori is there too. Like he could play center back, maybe. Have to have structure, but also have to be brave and give players some freedom. You have to. Can't micromanage every single thing. I think Arteta is doing a good job. He, like Enzo, need to give the players their freedom now since they have been given the fundamentals. And that's the thing, DJ Shatta Hennessy. To me, it's a no-brainer because it's clear that you have drilled them about how you want them to be defensively, structurally. That's when you should give them the keys now, because you're like, yo, we have that superpower in our back pocket. We can go to the structure that we like. But until we need to go to it, let's play a different way. One that's a little more free-flowing, Or let's devise a system where us having this defensive structure doesn't prevent us from playing free-flowing still. No League or Champions League or Gobi Moyes number 2. Exactly. It has to be League or Champions League. No cups. That not gonna be enough. In there, Brazil. Rice is getting run into the ground. The man has been looking tired but can't get a rest. Yeah, that's a fact. I had said the Brentford game would be when I would rest him, and he plays pretty much the whole game that game, and I think he acts as if he's injured to come off. I don't even think anything was wrong with him. I think this is a Pep issue. Pep brought the militancy back into the Prem, and those who follow over do it a little. Yeah, bro, man need to play Ethan. Red Skull, where Ethan must play. Oh, Ethan must play right position against Villa or against... Yeah, look, my starting lineup against Bruges, it's a madness, but I don't care. Watch this. Bruges starting 11. Sorry, all the people them were there for the overall show, but I just have to show them this. Kepa. I don't even want to play the brother again, but he have to go play. I don't even want to play this brother again, but he have to go play. 1 year. Since you're not playing in the league, play me also. And play the brother here too. See my 11 there. Bruges starting 11 versus Bruges. That's who me I play. Right there, so. Ethan can play on the bench. It's a fine somewhere put him. Brentford. Yeah, had to play him against Brentford. The big striker where I scored 10,000 goals never even start. I haven't seen a professional performance where the defense, midfield, and attack are functioning together. This is down to rotation. He seems to overlook the fundamentals of the game. Yeah, look, he wants to play the same midfield 3 every game. And I'm like, bro, that's literally the engine. And they probably do the most running in the game. So wouldn't you want to be playing different players for them? Like at least every now and again? No, man, Timber, me not play Timber in that game. Yeah. Him have to stay fit. Him can just sit down. But Marley Salmon set a record. 16-year-old starting in Champions League. You love set record with them thing there, right? So just set that, give him the game, make him play it. Chili. Don't even say it, bro. Don't even say it. Don't even say it. Don't even say it, bro. We don't even want to think it. But yeah, Everton 3-0 over Nottingham Forest. Not a day for Sean Dyche. And hey, all know this Moyes, Moyes attack look better than Arteta when you stay there. Man, them a wheel some ball. Some good little passing for play out of the back. And I said, wait, Everton this? What you mean, Moyes? You see Moyes play all ball handlers in the midfield of the game. Ghana, Dewsbury Hall, Alcaraz, NDI, Grealish, every man, ball retention on 1,000. Vision, creativity. Yeah, man. Moyes do a complete 180, brother. Max Dowman mashing up U21s and 19s and U everything. All right. Man City, Sunderland, 3-0. Foden on fire. Turkey on fire. Diaz and Vardy, all the centre backs getting goals. Diaz score a cracker. Did get a deflection on it, but I mean, that probably was going in regardless. And Vardy, a good header from a corner from Foden. So Foden goal and assist. Shirky 2 assists. Haaland had a poor day at the office. Did miss some big chance, or one. I missed, I think, like 2 half chance, I would say. But yeah, Haaland didn't have his best day, but did his job, pushing the line back, occupying them, and leaving the space underneath for Shirky, Doku, Foden, Silva, the fullback, them playing all over the place. But yeah, City definitely dominated this one. There was a one little spell in the second half where Sunderland looked like they might have wanted something. But once they got the third goal, and that third goal was something to behold. And there were some wicked goals this week. 2 of them were in this game. Diaz strike and Shirky, the third goal in this game by Foden, the header. Oh my word. If you haven't seen that, people, please go and just type in Man City third goal. If you're under a rock, you haven't seen it. But if you've seen it, that was just basically, if you want to explain Shirky as a player in a play, just show people that. Because the audacity we have to even do that skill that in the moment, and then the execution, and like it all had the curve on it, and it was so brilliant, the technique we used for cross the ball, the Rabona. And Foden just had to redirect the header because it had pace on it as well. And it was a brilliant header in the end. That made it 3-0, and that was the end of the scoring. But it could have been more after that. City do have Real Madrid to play in the week, so Pep hasn't really been rotating much. And I had mentioned this to Taran and BBK Sports Show earlier today, and I was saying when you really analyze their teams the last 4 or 5 games, it's only really been one change. Shirky for Reinders. That's the only thing that's been different. Every game these guys have played. So the fact that I think Pep knows that, and so he got Haaland out, he got Foden out, he got Vardy out, he got Shirky out, he got Silva out in that game. Because I think that Pep is gonna go back to this Real Madrid game, and probably start the same damn team. Now I think Reinders will somehow get in there somewhere. So Shirky might be the one sacrifice, but we'll see what he ends up doing, because Doku could also not start, and he plays Foden and Shirky, and Reinders will drop into midfield. So let's see what he goes with in the Champions League, but that's going to be something to watch for Pep, because Pep does have a nice size squad. Oscar Bob ain't nowhere like afterthoughts right now. Savinho kind of getting back in the good graces. You see him back in the rotation at least. Rico Lewis, we hadn't seen him for a while. He got some game time. Ake is just on the outside looking in. I think if any injuries happen on the back line, I think Ake is the first person they would go to, because he's left-footed, so he can play centre back or left back. So yeah, I think even if Nunez goes down, I guess it would be a little different. Probably bring Rico Lewis in before him. But yeah, this is what Pep has been going with. So it looks like he's really found that 11 that he wants to run with now. And like I said, it's just Shirky or Reinders really is the one thing I've seen him changing up. So let's continue to look at that, because Pep is a guy that does like to chop and change from week to week. But in this recent run of games, he's really just stuck with this 11. With the exception of Shirky for Reinders, as I said before. So that's something that I'm going to be watching moving forward. Like, does Pep start to rotate a bit more as we get into this December part of the season? Or is he just basically saying, look, I found that 11 that I want to build some continuity with, and I'm going to stick to that. These are the stats on the day. 2.42 to 0.71 was the expected goals. 3 big chance for City, 1 for Sunderland on the day. Had 10 more shots taken, 6 on target, only the 1 on target for Sunderland. So it was a very controlled display. They did get 1 big chance though, and it was missed. They did convert 1 of the big chances, but missed 2 did Manchester City. You see the entry is only 29. That's a good low number for a game. So you're really controlling the game if you can hold somebody below 30. But yeah, City looking very dangerous in this one. I think they had a lot more control as well. They were not nearly as susceptible to the counter. The rest defense was looking a bit better in this game. And overall, it just didn't really give Sunderland many chances to counter. They were very good on the ball. And that's the case when City is clicking. You're not going to be able to counter them much because they're just not going to open themselves up to that. They're going to finish off the action with something, a shot. It's going to be a goal kick at the end, or you're going to win the ball way down in your own third, and they're going to be pressing you as soon as they lose the ball. So you just can't really get out some of the times against them when they're really clicking. And at times, this game against Sunderland looked like that. Still not like the City of old, though. There were those little times, and they did create 1 big chance, but I have to be fair, City was pretty in control in this one, to be honest. Pep finally wake up and realize it's his last season. I need to take it serious. City scoring from set pieces, set piece coach finally doing something. Hey, it's all the rage, It's all the rage. Yeah, that goal was mad. Yo, I'm telling you, bro, how long have I been talking about the Shirky? Ike? Honestly, I've been talking about Shirky forever, even before he was really doing it for real. Because last year was really the first time him show like him full potential in a whole season. It's always been glimpses of things, and you hear about this guy in training, him so good technically. But it's really, really and truly when I was a believer was when I saw France in the Olympics, brother. And I'm seeing some of the things this guy is doing, and I'm like, yo, this guy is different. It don't matter which foot. The man vision is ridiculous. In passing control and like in weight of pass is like perfect. Like he's just a wicked footballer, bro. Wicked footballer. Pepsi Shirky as a Messi regent. Yo, if he does, I would never bench the kid. I'm sorry. Shirky was brilliant, but never mind his assist. His control of the game was the best thing. Yeah. Don't forget about it. Talk about press resistant. Don't try pressure them, man, brother. It don't make sense. Just save your energy. Arsenal are under pressure to beat Wolves now. Everton are like Villa. They'll find a way. These are the guaranteed 3 points, but dropping unnecessary points make these games difficult. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That you would have some assists like Messi and KDB. Yeah. Yeah, man. That's a good point. That's a good point, Chile, because like what I mentioned that they didn't concede as many chances because of their control. He's a big part of that. He's a big part of that. And I think the team is now realizing, like, get this kid the ball. Like, if you notice, he was just floating everywhere. He was taking the ball off of people's foot. They weren't even passing it to him. He just run up to the ball and take it and start doing thing, And it's like a player like him, it kind of makes sense that it would take like 15 weeks or 13, 10, 11 weeks to kind of really, because he's a touch player. He has to get on the ball, touch it, influence, dictate the play. And maybe when you first go there and you have Bernardo Silva, you have Ford, and you have all these other players, you're like, all right, are we really going to force feed Shirky the ball? But like, I think they have seen him enough now, and they've seen him do it in the games enough now where they're like, yo, we're going to force feed Shirky the ball. Like, take the ball, baller, take the ball, do what you want to do with it, which makes sense. But for a player like him, he had to go through that with the team first for them to realize, like, yo, this guy is different. We have to make sure him touch the ball, like a lot. But look at like Silva, all of them. Just look at how whenever him come near the ball, them don't wait. Them just give him and say, yo, we know you're gonna do something to make us do something. So just take the ball and do your thing. But I think they had to kind of get there with him, which it looks like they're there now. All right, so this was the next game, Newcastle and Burnley. But I really wanted a clean sheet in this game, man. In fantasy draft, I get some Newcastle defender. I'm saying, yes, Burnley, them a play, Ray. And then this Batty man, Jacob Ramsey in a star. Sure. The man got hands the ball for no reason. Ramsdale was going to save the ball, The man chicken wing and sure. But Bruno Guimaraes and Anthony Gordon, that's what I know so far score. Watch the game, These two players were different level in this game. Bruno Guimaraes, people, would you say is underrated? Do people think Bruno Guimaraes is underrated? Or you think he's like rated fairly? But Scott Parker teams never play badly. They just can't get results most of the time because he always have a team that is a little inferior to the other teams, But I don't think Scott Parker is a terrible coach the way I'm trying to coach the team. Yeah, because I don't know. I don't think he really get like ratings like overall. Like when you talk about best midfielders in the Prem, for example. Like Bruno doesn't like it's always Caicedo, Rice, McAllister, Gravenberg, Sobos. Like no, do people really bring him up in the best in the league debate? Because I think he's up there. Like, tell me what he can't do in the midfield. I'll wait. Good midfielder, says Skull. For me, he's in my top 10. You know what I think go against him? So he's on Newcastle for one, and I think they're like just outside that like top level in the Premier League for teams. And then he's on a Brazil team right now that people don't really rate. So like I think those two things. Yeah. All right, thank you. I feel like you drop this guy on Chelsea, City, Arsenal, any other top four, then the man ratings go to another level. If you think he's highly rated, okay. I still think he's underrated because I just don't know why he don't get brought up in the like. Why is it Moises Caicedo versus Rice? Why isn't Bruno in that same convo? I don't understand why. Why wouldn't he be? Like just rank what they do. Yeah, but Newcastle is in the Champions League. This is his second season with them in the Champions League. I mean, at this point, can we really say that about Newcastle? Like, they're a different Newcastle from 10 years ago when they were like up and down from Championship and the league. You know what I'm saying? But Bruno Guimaraes was on point, man. Some of the passes and movement and the through passes. He scored an Olympico corner kick, took a next wicked shot that the keeper had to save. Outside of the right foot, Gordon, the man slapped the post in the first half with a left foot shot, and him slapped the crossbar with a right foot shot, score a penalty. Yeah, both of them were on it. Both of them were really on it in this game. Had a very, very good performance, both of them. But yeah, this one, I mean, look, it was really late in the game that Burnley, did something and they were able to get the penalty. But in the first half, they weren't terrible. I think that red card really messed them up for sure. And Newcastle just wasn't clinical enough in the second half. They probably should have had at least 3-4 goals in the game. But it just wasn't meant to be. But Burnley, as Shatta Hennessy said, they didn't have a bad performance, to be honest. They were in the game for long stretches. I just think in the end, like Newcastle just have the quality for those moments, and Guimaraes with the Olympico, Gordon at other points, basically unplayable. That made a difference. Now when Fleming came on, Anthony came on towards the end of the game, they're the ones that caused all the ruckus and were able to earn a penalty from I think it was a header from Fleming, I believe. And then he stepped up to convert it. Ramsdale went the right way, but alligator arms again. I don't know how a man so tall have such short arms, but something I used to notice at Arsenal all the time. Like this man has the shortest arms for someone over 6 foot in the world, I believe. Like if they had a contest I think Ramsdale would be like up there, at least on the podium. I don't know, man. 2 out of 3 years. I guess it's not consistently all three, but that's not bad. Arsenal seem to keep control of the ball, but the players are in a system that doesn't allow the players to penetrate the opposition through movement, as it will leave us defensively vulnerable. Thoughts? Yeah, look, that is true. I think that he has not found that balance of the playing with that penetration and feeling secure defensively. But I think the reason for that is, like, in his mind, the only way to attack is to make sure that you've moved all the players around. Like, well, not all the players, but you've moved like the defensive players around and the midfield as well. So Rice, who starts out in the build-up phase as the player in between the two centre backs building out. By the time the ball is in the middle third, he's supposed to now be, a second striker, not a second striker, but like an extra runner into the box, and then if we get countered, we expect him to sprint back. And so it's like, yo, the man going dead. Yeah, Bruno is G in the midfield. I mean, I've never watched a Newcastle match if they weren't playing Chelsea until last year. Fair. The first time I saw that Robana skill was at Trinity Brethren that we played on the same team post-college in the late 80s. Thereafter, in the 90s, saw a few Jamaican brethren execute the skill. So it says that Trini, you see that first. Well, Ike will be happy if he's still here. Bruno is a Brazilian midfielder. No chance he's underrated. Gordon's passing is amazing. If you give him space, he might get punished. Yeah, look, he's a very complete player, honestly. Like, he's a good player, man. I just think, like, he just needs a little bit better mentality. Like, sometimes his head just go. But if he's on it, yeah, he's tough. He's tough to deal with. Him and Caicedo is best six in the league with physicality. Bruno is indeed underrated at JG. This game would have been better if there was no red card. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen Burnley in the second half with 11 as well. I think Guimaraes is top 5, probably top 3 in the league. If you name the best 10 midfielders in the Prem, it's a poor list, in my opinion. The standard is on the floor. So you're saying Guimaraes is top whatever, but it's just because everybody else is garbage. I got you. Burnley's another team that has the shackles on as it relates to offense. If you watch when they come outside of the textbook, they really look promising. Yeah, it's like when they realize it was 5 minutes left and they go for it, it's like, oh, damn, that don't look too bad. Yeah, I mean, wouldn't you be scarred? 9 love is tough, man. I think that's when he got the sack the last time after the 9. But yeah, dominated statistically by Newcastle, but Burnley did create chances with their less possession and all of that. They still were right there with expected goals, and they created one more big chance. So it's not how much you have the ball, but what you do with it. But they did fall short 2-1, but put up a good fight with 10 men as well. All right, Tottenham and Brentford. Now, this match right here, I would say was probably Spurs' best home performance overall. I mean, they really were stingy, didn't really give up much. Had 2 goals, could have had more as well on the day for sure. But yeah, it was a good performance from them. Xavi Simons with a goal and an assist, probably what Tottenham fans and the board of Tottenham and everybody at Tottenham would have envisioned when they signed him. But he did have one of those days where he was extremely influential. I think Colomwani was unlucky to not get a goal in this game as well. But Richarlison popped up with a goal in this one. Kudus no goal or assist, but as usual, effective on the right. You see, Ayer was definitely struggling over there, had a yellow. Yarmouk on a yellow. So that whole left side, basically, was yellow card land. But yeah, not the greatest result from Brentford, not the best performance either. I think Thomas Frank really and truly dominated this one from start to finish. Henry came on at halftime and definitely settled down that left-hand side. I have to give him his credit for his performance in the second half. But Kelleher really is the true superhero, keeping it at 2-0. Thiago was definitely starved on the day, but did get the one big opportunity and could not put it away, which is very unlike him so far this season. So nothing really went the way of Brentford on this occasion, and Tottenham finally gave their fans at home something to cheer about, as it's been doom and gloom in that stadium for the longest while this season. But yeah, that was pretty much it. Tottenham pretty much dominate the game, kill them in expected goals, big chances, shots on target. Final third entries were very even though. Um, but yeah, Tottenham definitely was the better side. And if it wasn't for Kelleher, I think this could have been 3-4 nil easily. But Kelleher kept the score down, and in this battle for places, goal difference does matter in this Premier League this season. All right, moving into the last game of Saturday now, and this was for me the most exciting game of the week. Leeds versus Liverpool. This one ending 3-all. You see the goals, a brace from Ekitike, Soboslai in the 80th minute after Leeds had equalized through goals from Calvert-Lewin from the penalty spot, and Stack with a brilliant move on the left-hand side, getting it in the half space, cutting in and shooting. Soboslai scored 5 minutes later, and then at the death, 96th minute, Tanaka, after poor defending on a corner from Liverpool, ball fell to him at the back post. He made no mistake with his left foot, and that made this one end 3-all. So Leeds have been playing some exciting games at Ellen Road. This one was no different. Slack was the best player stats-wise from Leeds, and Ekitike took home player of the match award with Soboslai right behind at 8.1. Now, before I start talking about the game, you already know the big talking point was about this player right here, Mohamed Salah. Now, Mohamed Salah, as you can see, did not get onto the field of play, and that was 2 games in a row now where he didn't get any time on the field. And of course, the bombshell interview after the game, talking to reporters, he mentions that he doesn't know when, but at some point the relationship broke down with the coach, and he feels like he's a scapegoat at this point, and he's getting thrown under the bus and all of these things. He doesn't understand it and all these things. Now, today it came out that Flat was talking to the media. It's been reported and it's pretty much confirmed that he's not in the match day squad to go to Inter. They will travel to Italy for that game. He's not in the squad for that, so he'll be staying back home. And yeah, Slat responded and said he doesn't understand why Mo would say these things. On his end, there's no breakdown in anything. The relationship is fine. Blah, blah, blah. So, first and foremost, right, was Salah right to reveal what he revealed in the manner that he did? That's the first question. I just want to know what you guys think. Was Salah right to say those things in the interview? Or in the I guess what you would call that, not an interview, in the post-match press conference, I guess you can call it. Brentford have PTSD from the Arsenal game. Don't it? I think he would be a good midfielder in any era, but that standard is on the floor. He's right up there. Okay, fair. Football is a simple game. Arsenal are doing too much when they move forward. The goals Arsenal concede when we're attacking mainly, that says midfield is unbalanced. Absolutely. No doubt about it. Sometimes I look at us attacking and I'm saying, damn, that's Zubimendi that just ran into the half space to cross a ball to Rice. So where the hell, who is back? Is there anyone back? This is Simmons I've been waiting to see. Spurs still getting relegated though. Boy, I tell you, you know, I give up, You said them there get 4 love, He's a madman. So Jamaica flag prominently displayed in the stands of the Tottenham Brentford game. Yeah, pretty much at every Premier League game, just about, you probably see one flag at some point. Is Liverpool ever going to fix this defensive issue? Konate needs replacement to recondition. Clearly, the new contract stressing him out. Him stressed now that him now go Madrid. Salah on the bench is better for the team if Slot is leading. However, Slot needs to be realistic in realizing that the real team is better with him on the field. All right, so Salah was wrong in one opinion. Salah could never be a Chelsea instant bomb squad. Exactly why we got rid of him. Man have the most goal and assists last year. He earned the right to speak his mind. So Apache said he has earned the right due to his performances last year, and probably could add over his career at Liverpool to be the person that many people have said he should start to be on the bench is not easy to accept. So he might just feel left out to me. No matter what is wrong, keep your mouth shut. Yeah. So look, the way I see it, right, Salah surely should have known that him doing it the way he did it was not going to really work out in his favor, because if like Slot sees that, hears that, you're basically saying to the public that Slot don't F with you no more. And based on the fact that you and him had a good relationship before and you don't have one now, you're saying there's clearly some people or someone at the club that don't want you there anymore. So now you have put Slot under the pressure to either come out and say, listen, nothing no go so, which he did, right? Which he doesn't want to have to do in the press conference before the Inter match. He want to talk about Inter and blah, 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 and whatever. You know, I talk about Salah, tell her interview outside the locker room or whatever. So I kind of agree more with Shatta Hennessy and Wun and this Apache. Regardless of what you have done for the club, you should feel confident enough, especially because of what you've done at the club, going to the man directly. Just go to his office and say, yo, what's going on? You know, like, I'm pretty sure he's not going to give you one of these while I'm on the phone or whatever. You're Mo Salah. Like, and I'm sure he knows the importance of having a good relation with you. And when I heard him saying that, like, they don't, like, he didn't know why or what's going on, like, I just found that so hard to believe. So you mean to tell me that the coach never come to you and say, yo, Mo, you know, I'm thinking of like trying something new, and you're going to be coming off the bench or on the bench. I just want to let you know that that's the plan for moving forward for the next couple of games. We just want to see how it work out, blah, blah, blah. Like, he didn't have any, like, he just, I was just one of those ones where he turn up to the stadium and he have to go look at the board like everybody else and see who's starting. I mean, maybe that's just how Slack does it. Some coaches do that, you know, they tell you the night before, someone either come to training or come to the game, not focus on whether you're starting or whatever, just come to the game with an open mind and then you look and see who's starting, you know. So coaches do it differently, different places. But I don't know Slot's method. I can't, I would be lying if I told you what his method is, but I don't know. I find it so hard to believe that Salah wouldn't have had any convo at all with the manager, this being the second game in a row you don't play. Like, how? Like, even like knowing how Salah is, right? The fact that he could come to the media and say this, how was he not in his office after the first time this happened? And just saying, hey, what's going on? You know? I mean, him going Saudi next season, so let him talk. It'd have been better off doing it on his socials. Salah is sulking. He's maneuvering his way out of the club by saying that there's only one outcome. Yeah, the man saying, telling parents for forward for the Brighton game. And the man said, that's the last game before the transfer window. And he said, Facts, talk to the coach. Always talking publicly, what does that do for the team? Nothing. Think of the team, not yourself. Any player doing that to me would never play again. Yeah, that's to me, that's exactly why I wouldn't have done it this way as a player. Or I wouldn't. Maybe I would have, because I was a freaking egotistic person when I was playing football. But it's something that I would have looked back on my career and said I shouldn't have done that. You know what I'm saying? And Salah is at a stage of his career, I would think that he's seen so much in football that he must have known that this can't end well for him going this route. You know, but hey, this is what he decided to do. And yeah, that's the craziness that happens sometimes, you know. Imagine walking into the dressing room and not seeing your name on the board 2 hours before kickoff. I know, right? Whenever a player gets linked to Saudi Arabia, any drop in form is blamed on that link by fans. It happened to Bruno Fernandes last season too. Interesting spot there, Cygnus. Salah hasn't been shit, has been shit. The attack has been better without him. Focus on working hard and improving instead of sulking. Yeah. And that's, to me, that's the thing that I think gets lost in a lot of this conversation right now, is like, let's not act like all of us who claim we're pundits weren't saying for weeks Salah should be benching because he ain't doing shit. And now that it's happened and he's come out, we're like, some people are like, oh, they might disrespect the legend. And da, 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 da. Yo, people wicked, man. Because them are the same ones saying him should bench. Salah probably couldn't get through to him directly. So publicity and transparency may have been the right option. And again, like he's Mo Salah at Liverpool Football Club. Like he can get a sit down with the coach if he wants it. I'm telling you. The man will make the other trainer just do that part of the session and go talk to Mo. Like I'm telling you. Remember how he undermined Mane to get a new contract? Yes, I do remember. He does have a history of showing that it's all about him. That's for sure. I personally would keep my mouth shut though. Salah hasn't been shit though. The game changed and he didn't change. So the game changed from last season to this season. My gosh, that was quick. Virtual got money. Nothing at all. And why Ekitike had to come off, I don't know. Might as well just keep him on the field. But Leeds, finding results, boy. I have to give them the credit. 3-all. Never say die. All right, the show has been a lot of reasoning and very long-winded, so I run out of time. So I forgot to do a brief synopsis of these ones now. So Brighton and West Ham, this one ended 1-all. Jared Bowen, that was one of the wickedest finishes because I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out how he found that angle on the pass that he got from who played the pass to him, or Callum Wilson. And he just it was a slide tackle shot basically. Caught Kadioglu by surprise and he put it far post. Caught the keeper by surprise as well for Bruggen, who had a really good game otherwise. And I can't really even blame him for that. That was just a wicked, wicked finish. And then Ruta scored late, but it wasn't without controversy. It looked to have struck Ruta's hand in the build-up to the goal. Maybe it was deemed to have, kind of bounced up off another part of his body. And maybe because the goal wasn't scored right in that particular action, it was still given. But I was under the impression that if the goal scorer is the one in question of handling, it has to be chalked off, whether it's deemed to be on purpose or accidental, inadvertent, or whatever. So I figured that the goal was going to get chalked off, but it actually stood. And that's just that was to me the biggest thing that happened in the game. Because I'm thinking, okay, he's the guy who is being looked at as the handball is the one who end up scoring the goal. So if there's anything that it hit hand-wise, it has to be chalked off. But I guess they didn't see any video evidence that it did indeed hit the hand clearly. So they could not make that call. So the goal stood. I never heard the explanation, but I'm assuming that's how it would have went, because it was hard to tell where it hit. It was really, really hard to tell where it hit. But it looked very, very close. Yeah, that was a crazy. Yeah, Bowen, it's crazy, when you watch Jared Bowen, you can almost know when he's going to score or assist in a game, Because he just have a different level. Like, the man was so sharp in this game, you could just tell he's going to score or he's going to get GA in this game. He's getting GA somehow. Yeah, man, a good player, man. Salah has to be moved on, in my opinion. He's helping to make an unhealthy atmosphere in the changing room. New players coming in, he's not the main man anymore. Yeah, it's the progression, but it's a hard one for a legend, clearly. Yo, 1-1. Manners and respect, my G. £5 on the board. But I wonder if the people are allergic, But a 1-1 always have to come show now. It's done. Big up yourself, 1-1. Maximum respect, my G. All right. So yeah, West Ham Brighton, like I said, that call iffy. What you guys thought? You guys thought that it was fairly ruled in the goal for Brighton, or do you think that should have been ruled out for a handball? Because it was very, very close, man. It was a tough call. Tough call. West Ham didn't really understand it, but they had to live with it in the end. Fulham Crystal Palace. Edward and Ketia, people. in the 28th minute. But the goal of the week for me, I know a lot of you saying the Shirky goal because of the Robona and everything. Bruh, Fulham first goal, or Fulham only goal, Harry Wilson. That was a goal of the week. Trust me, that was a goal of the week. Iwobi, one touch Wilson around the corner. Jimenez, not even look, just give him back. Boom. Two. Spin off the defender. Outside of the left. Curling away from the key. Oh, that goal was special. That goal was special. Harry Wilson, that was a wicked piece of goal. And then Mark Gahey again. Captain Fantastic. The man is not going anywhere. Glasner saying he's leaving. If I want to get rid of this guy, I'm fucking leaving. But Gahey at the near post with a bullet header. Very good cross into the box as well from Jeremy Pino. Playing well last couple of weeks, you know. I tell you that I think this guy is going to be a good signing for them, you know, the Eze replacement, you know, because him have that skill set to play that number 10-ish slash winger, you know, the way Crystal Palace play. And he's really been picking up his performances of late and seeing the goals and assists start to come now too. So I think Pino going to be kicking on, especially you know, Sarr being out, not the best for them. But I think what it does, it kind of forced Pino to step up. And I think in the long run, it's going to be better for Palace that Pino getting these reps as kind of like the main guy of the two number 10s on the field. You know, so mark my words, when Sarr come back and Pino and Sarr like at peak, yeah, you're gonna see some wicked wicked football from the three of them. Because Mateta right now off like him, you know, him a miss chance, him not getting as many chances. So yeah, I'm not at full tilt right now. But I think a part of that is Sarr out and Pino not quite up to the the levels. But I think that will change soon. It's a cash goal or the best goal. Move up, man. Look on cash technique. Go for yourself. I don't know. It was not clear to me. It was not directly before the goal. So I think, yeah, I think that the action continued after that is what saved him. Honestly, like if it does hit there, so and then drop to him foot and him score, then probably rule it out. So I think you're right. That's why I'm saying I never hear the VAR audio, but I love to hear it and hear what the discussion was. Yeah, man, that Fulham goal was so nice, man. Jeez, I love that goal. What is it? Not goal of the season. I'd have to look back, but I think it was goal of the weekend, personally, or the match week, I should say. The build up for the Wilson goal was like a movie. Yep, that was goal of the week. Wilson is technically excellent, lacks strength and pace, but makes it work with pure technique. Absolutely. Yeah, the tech as we have, it remind me of I mean, it's different because it's left-footed and it's just always more elegant looking. But I think Trossard is a similar type of winger to him. Like it's not pace. Trossard is not weak, but it ain't strength. You know. But I think Wilson is probably weaker than Trossard because even Arsenal players say like Trossard is a beast in the weight room. And you can kind of tell because he's small, but he does go into shoulder and shoulder to shoulder with people and like. Him don't always fall down after. Yeah, man, I agree with you. Pino is gonna just continue to get better. Yeah, man, the whole build-up, even before the Iwobi pass, it was good build-up before all of that. It was like a nice stretch of play. If Palace get injuries, they are finished. They were bringing on some players that look like, yeah, that's true, 1-1. And it's bound to happen because they're playing in Europe on Thursday. So, yeah, they're gonna hit that wall at some point. One of them at least. Tanaka goal last week is goal of the season. That was a Ross goal. But no, goal of the season? The right foot shot? No, sir. I love the Harry Wilson goal. You think Wilson is technically better? I just think that has more to do with like just it's something about the left foot being the foot. Because for me, like more technical would be Trossard because he can use both feet like almost equally well. Like when he's taking a powerful shot, you don't know which foot is his strong foot. Wilson have one foot. And I guess that's unfair to say automatically he's not more technical because he used the one foot. If that one left foot is just more technical, then it can beat both of the feet. So I get that argument too. But yeah, Harry Wilson is super technical though. He's techie. But so is Trossard too. I'm not gonna downplay Trossard tech. Cause that's, to me, that's what saves him. That's how he's a player in the Premier League for Arsenal. Like, his technique is just great. Or you won't give up with this cash goalie. In my opinion, England's best CB is Tomori. He plays for AC Milan in the Italian League. I'm surprised none of the top teams haven't tried to sign him. Yeah, I think he has two things going against him. He plays in Italy and he's black. But I think Tuchel don't care, because I saw him bring back Loftus-Cheek, which I've been saying for like a little while now. Like, why Loftus-Cheek can't play for England anymore? Like, he's good for Milan. Like, what the hell? You don't watch football? Yeah, I think he is just a bit quicker and stronger, but Wilson for me is all the technique. Trossard is more technical. The way he's on the ball is crazy. Harry Wilson is similar, but Trossard more physical. Yeah, I think he's technically great because he's got silky touch, both feet. He can whip the ball with both feet, strike the ball with both feet. His body feints just. I mean, that's literally how he gets away. He doesn't really do like. I mean, he'll do a step over here and there to get off a shot, but he's not really to beat people. He's just so good at manipulating space. Trossard. Cheek is Tuchel's baby. That's why he got. That's true. But isn't Tomori at Chelsea? I guess he never crossed paths with Tuchel there. No, like not even in a preseason or something. Loftus Cheek is underrated to me. Yeah, for sure. Why you try to shut down a man because he thinks the best goals against your team? No, but I mean, come on. The GJ gigs. Look at the other goals we're talking about. That Matty Cash goal cannot be, you know what I'm saying? Oh, they didn't cross paths. Okay. Great by what measure? The measure that I just gave you. Like, his first touch, his close control, his ability to strike the ball with both feet in different ways, like the curler, the laces. He can technically, all the things that you would do technique wise, he can do them well at a high level. So that's why I think his technique is great. Now, if you want to say he's a good footballer and not a great footballer, I'll get that. But I think his superpower is technique. That's his superpower. That's how he's on Arsenal. That's how he plays for Belgium all the time. And his football IQ is high as well. So, he makes up for the lack of pace by knowing when to make the run and where to start making the run from. Fair. Fair. I mean, you have always consistently graded harder than me on most things. So I'm not surprised that I would have him on a great technical level and you would have him on a good technical level. That's actually not surprising. All right, and the last game, which just happened today, Wolves and Man U. This one ended 4-1 in favor of Manchester United. Comedy hour for Wolves, really and truly. Somehow they got an equalizer in the 47th minute. Second minute of injury time, first half. But then once the second half got going, it was really only going to be one winner. Then Boomo, Mount, and Bruno Fernandes from the penalty spot, ending off the road 4-1. Within that 4-1, Wolves did have a few little counter breaks and Manu looked vulnerable from time to time, but there was only going to be one winner in this game, honestly. Once that third goal went in, which made it 3-1, Mason Mount, that neat finish, who I thought had probably one of his better games that I can remember for United. He was really playing some slide rule passes through to Mboemo, Cunha, Dallo, Diallo, making runs on the outside. And Bruno Fernandes really dictated the game from the midfield. spraying passes, combining, just overall dictating the play. And yeah, Wolves just too many mistakes at the back, poor team shape, plays where it's 2v1, 3v3, 4v3. I mean, just constantly being mismatches in the defensive transition phase. And just they were just all over the shop today. And I mean, my hope is that Rob Edwards just continues to coach them exactly the same this whole week, so that when they come to the Emirates, it's just horrible. Um, my hope is that they don't somehow realize, oh, we are Wolves and we have 2 points this season, so we need to just stay in some kind of structure and just try to nick one. Hopefully they can come and try to break on us like they were doing against Man United and keeping themselves so open to the counter. And Agbadu, Gomez, and Mosquera has to be collectively one of the worst back threes in the Premier League's history. I swear, like Agbadu got a 7.7 in spite of doing a whole bunch of madness. Some of the things I saw this man doing. Gomez, I don't know how this man has Portugal caps. I still don't know to this day. And Mosquera is, he might come good. He's a young Colombian, 24 years of age, but he just doesn't, he just looks out of his depth at the moment around the back. So they're just struggling all over the shop. Andre, good player in this Wolves team, looking like crap. Krejci just spent the whole day fouling, man. And Strand Larson, I just felt sorry for him running around pointlessly, aimlessly for the whole damn game. But Man United, this is a good result for them, because United is the type of team that will just randomly drop points to Wolves away, even in this season when they're playing like this. So the fact that they were able to dominate, they really only looked to be one winner. Even when they went to 1-1, it was just a matter of time, really, in the second half when they were going to pull away. And yeah, the one worry is, like I said, a couple of opportunities. If Wolves just had more quality, Lamens would have been at least tested. But yeah, it would just Wolves didn't have it today. They were poor for the most part, and they went down 4-1, and it's not getting any easier for Rob Edwards since him take over. I haven't seen no new manager bounce at all. All right, people, that's all 10 fixtures. Before we do the big, actually, let's do the big reveal right now, people. Let's do the big reveal right now. So first, let's show you guys the prediction standings for the week, people. The big reveal coming up right now. Let's see. Bum, 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 bum. And the winner is Moss Sports World. Big up yourself, Moss, in the building. 6-4 with one correct score. Moss was able to do the correct score for the Crystal Palace Fulham game. Jagarn, so close, Maji. 6-4 as well, but you were not able to select a correct score for any of the games. So Moss did get the title by virtue of the tie breaker. You were close, man. 2-1s were 2-0. 2-0 was 2-1. So yeah, you were right around those scores, but couldn't quite get one over the line. And that was the difference this week. And then Game Birds and Fitzroy Grizzle tied for third, 5-5 with one correct score. Grizzle got the 2-1. Grizzle got the 2-1 Palace Fulham game as well. And Game Birds got the Aston Villa 2, Arsenal 1. Game Birds, yeah, big creep. Pristine. Fifth this week, on the podium at least. Well, on the list that made the screen. Pristine, 5-5, no correct scores, but it was a rough week for some. But none had a rougher week than one of my them, one of the original foundation viewers to the channel. I mean, we're talking the first time Gooner TV did one of these shows, when it was like four of us in here, you know what I mean? And we still are running it like 100 every day in here. But it hurts me to say this, but Maji, you did end up with the title this week, and that is Hot chili. I said title, but it's not a title. You are the damn donkey of the week. 2-8. It did not have any correct scores. And even if you did, it wouldn't have helped because you're the only player this week that couldn't get more than 2 games right. So actually, you live to fight another week, my G. You have 1 week to recuperate. Maybe Man City can beat Madrid this week and, give you some more confidence going into the picks next week. But actually, sad to say, Margie, you are the donkey of the week. But again, we want to say big up and maximum respect to the winner for the week, and that was Mass Sports World. Yeah, so Mass Sports World gets it done and is the winner for the week. Okay, he seems to be showing off the fact that DJ, Gigs, and I saw your name. What me say? I missed it then. Gay, he seems to be showing off the fact that he's increasing value. He'll be sold in January if the money is right. Boy, if I was Palace, I wouldn't do it. Not just wait till the end of the season at this point. Yeah, I think he's very good. England's best CB. Agreed. He is England's best CB right now. Man United should have gotten 2 penalties. Yeah, the first one was the same. So it was weird. It was weird. They definitely should have. I actually agree with that, Cygnus. Goal measure in carats. Every gunner still in wilderness. Man that played on the left for us, Thomas Rosicky was ASC was. Cazorla was technically great. Sanchez was technically great. Pires was technically great. Trossard is good. Damn. Yeah, I feel like Rosicki and Trossard are close. I feel like Sanchez, Cazorla, and Pires were like another notch. Like they're not great. They were like technically gifted, like above great. Like I would put Thomas and Trossard on the technical gifts. Yeah, I'd put them right around the similar area. I know that it seems like blasphemy to you. It seems like it doesn't make sense, but to me, I would say Trossard is on that type of like Trossard to me could have played with them Monday. Him have that type of intelligence and technique. One of the few players right now I think could play with those guys. Wolves would do really well with Tosin right now. For real. He would be their best defender. That's sad, but it's true probably. This EPL can be mentally unhealthy. If you let it, for sure. Yes, he was drafted in for the final round of the qualifiers and did well for them as well. Got injured in the game though. Hopefully it's nothing serious. They all deserve ones. Stats alone do not paint the full picture. It's an example of that. Yeah, we said they deserve ones. Bombo. Wolves would benefit with a 5. Oh yeah, all their defenders for real. Wolves would benefit with a 5-3-2. Arias a good striker versus attacking mid. Yeah, I don't understand why. Because he brought on Tolu and played 2 strikers. I was like, you had Arias on the pitch all game. You could have just played him as a second striker, and Strandlers would have a little help. If Man U had lost this game, every fan would have asked for Amorim's head. Chance to jump 6 places if we beat the bottom team in the table. Yeah, man. They're outnumbered in midfield, struggling in the final third, leave 2 up, put an extra man in the middle. I was right. You do better than their coach. Yeah, you were right. Red Scholar dead with laugh. Red Scholar dead with laugh. The 4-2-3-1 works for them. If they had someone for the right wing, they'd have a chance. Well, Monetzi injured, and he was actually fast like playing. He was doing all right over there in the beginning. They actually do find in midfield. Just get overwhelmed with having to do too much 5-3-2 for now. Yeah, man, you go on good, bro. Perez is incredible. Rosicky a top baller. Man, use reverse psychology and pick City to lose. Not real. No chance. Rosicky was a different level. Great player. Much better than Trossard. Different league. Oh, left wing. Oh, okay. Yo, I don't. What happened to the Korean guy? Used to be good, bro. What happened to him? Like him doing. He must be injured. No man, Rosicki, you guys are using nostalgia wickedly right now. Rosicki had like my problem is I remember Rosicki always not being around because he was fucking injured all the time. So yeah, he was great, incredible, but like the man was never fucking there. That was my issue with Rosicki, bro. He's a baller though, fucking talented. Believe me. I don't know, guys. I think you guys are shitting on Trossard because we're seeing it in real time. Like you're gonna look back at some of the shit he was doing and be like, this fucker was good, you know. But or maybe me just rating more than everybody. I guess. I guess. Cause when everybody was saying, oh, he's leaving and everything, I'm like, bro, what why do people not think Trossard is good? I don't understand it. All he does is turn up in the biggest games every time. Yeah, he could have played it. He could have played that. Trossard could have played with those players, bro. I'm telling you. Yeah, but I mean, all right, it's okay. Anytime a player was injured a lot, he's always better after he retires. Every time. Because you're not pissed off anymore about him not playing. So that's why Wilshire is held in folklore forever, even though the fucker was never playing either. Rosiski is technically one of the best I've ever seen in an Arsenal shirt. I get it, bro. I just feel like if you can say that about Rosiski, you should say that about Trossard. Because this guy's technique is fucking next level. One of the best players in the league. No, I wouldn't go so far to say that. But in terms of technical players, yeah, he's one of the best technical players in the league. That's a fact. I wouldn't say he's one of the best, like overall, but if we're just talking about technical, yeah, this guy's technique is top. Man can shoot with either foot with the same strength and accuracy. That's ridiculous. Yeah, well, yeah, that makes your point, one. If he thinks that about the league, then yes. Because I wouldn't say he's like the best, like one of the best players, but I'm just saying like technical ability. That's it. Just that feature. This guy is different gravy. We need better. Well, find me them now. Find me the better. Everybody was saying Rodrigo. You still want Rodrigo? You still want Rafa Leao? This guy's tech is different, bro. Yeah, and that's why that era I don't put a lot of those players up there with the like Arsenal, you know, what I'm saying. Like, I mean, it remains to be seen what Trossard's legacy when he's done playing for Arsenal will be. Probably depends on if we win leagues and shit. But, you know, I don't know, man. Trossard's been one of the people that you can actually depend on for Arsenal for like the last couple of years now. And I just don't know what it's gonna take for people to realize, like, or you never wanted Leo to begin with. Well, you didn't object to Rodrigo, so I'm assuming you would want Rodrigo. I think we should get the Norwegian guy, Nusa. I don't think we should go for anybody that had a peak already in their career and is like going down. Marino is one of the greats in my opinion. In terms of what? Like technical ability? Because his technique is top two. He's just slow as molasses. But his technique is great. But I mean, he's Spanish, so it's like you're kind of born with it. I would take Semenyo. That's a player I would take. Because that's a physical player with technique. Yeah, I would get the kid Nusa though, bro. I mean, I'm nothing against Rodrigo, but I just feel like I don't need the baggage of the I have to start every game, or I want to go to another club. I don't need none of that shit. Yeah, Nusa though. If you don't know, ask somebody. That guy is a beast. I would get him. I want somebody that's like going like this, like has more to go up, like a right on the cusp of getting to that greatness. But yeah, I mean, I think Rodrigo would be like, we should have got him in 2022. Like, why would you get Rodrigo in 2026? He's gonna be overpriced because he's coming from Madrid. We don't know exactly what kind of level Rodrigo we're getting. Like, we don't know because he ain't shown the level that we know Rodrigo to be in like 2 seasons now. So it's like, what are you basing it off? Like the times when he was winning Champions Leagues, when a lot of the times he was like the surplus guy, like the fourth guy on a 3-man front line. Apart from like towards the end of Ancelotti reign, like he always was the extra guy for that team. So I don't know, man. I mean, he's great though. He's good. He's good though. Yeah, I just feel like, is he though? Like Rodrigo, like who you think is gonna give you more goals and assists in a season between the two of those players? Honestly. You think Rodrigo gonna score more and assist more than Trossard? I guess maybe. Maybe. We say you have to put the caveat of today's standards. Boy, I know wicked, brother. I would take him before I took Rodrigo. Even though I like Rodrigo more than Vinny. So maybe not. If I'm gonna take one of them, I'll probably take Rodrigo. Honestly. Expensive, and I don't think the money would be justified. Yeah, just I don't know, man. For me, that ship I say, like if we weren't gonna get him in the summer or even like the last summer before this, I don't think he's the one you go for right now. Too much of a question mark at this point for the money you're gonna have to spend, the outlay you're gonna have to make. Like you have to be sure, like, yo, this guy's motivated, he's gonna do it, whatever. But I just don't think that's the case right now with him. All right, people. Really have to end off the show now. I just realized how late it is, bro. 1 in the morning, damn. All my people in England and people on the West Coast, and I love this time. All right, let's look at the table. So let's take a look at the league table real quick before we head out of the show. So we have Wolves. Why? 2 points. Still, every week I was just hoping they get another point, but they can't get none. And this week I won't be hoping for that because they come to the Emirates. Burnley, 5 losses in a row at this point as well. They're on 10 points. Seem like them stuck. West Ham back in the relegation zone. They are. Wait, were they out? No, they weren't out of it. They were in it. But they are inching closer to out of it. 2 points from Nottingham Forest and Leeds. Forest did lose, but Leeds got a point, and they're -10 to -11 for Forest, so they're at 16th. Fulham on 17 points in 15th position. They have 2 losses on the bounce. So do Brentford. They are in 14th and 19 points. Bournemouth in a free fall at the moment. They are way down to 13th now, 20 points. Newcastle won 3 of their last 4. They're moving up the table. They're up to 12th and 22 points. And this is where the table really gets tight. From 12th all the way up to 4th, only separated by 4 points. Spurs on 22 as well with their win, up to 11th. Liverpool in the top 10, but they did fall a couple places down to 10th on 23 points. Sunderland also on 23 points, but amazingly, they have a +1 goal difference. Liverpool at 0 at the moment. 24 goals conceded. Wow. Brighton, 23 points as well, but they have a +4, so they're in 8th. Everton, 4 out of 5 wins for them have moved them all the way up to 7th in the table. David Moyes doing his thing. They have a big matchup against Chelsea coming up next weekend as well. Man United up to 6th position, people. Don't look now, Man United. fans and haters of Man United, but they are moving up the table. They are what? 8 points off the top. Imagine that. You'll soon start to hear them say they're winning the league, people. Don't mark my words. If Man United beat Bournemouth next week, you're going to start to hear league shouts. Watch. Chelsea, 25 points, plus 10 goal difference. They're in fifth position. Palace, 1 point clear of them. With 2 wins on the bounce now. They're at 26 points, looking good. Top 4 for Glasner and his boys. Aston Villa just keep on racking up the wins. 5 wins on the trot. I think 9 of 10 has them on 30 points now. And they are only 3 points off the top. Man City in second on 31 points. They have the same goal difference as Arsenal now. So they're making it a lot more interesting. And Arsenal up to 33 points, still stuck there after the loss. Plus 19, 28 for, 9 against. But it got tighter this week at the top. People, big up on themselves. I'm Jason Gooner. This is Jason Gooner TV. And until next time, people, when I go ball, the season long, and we're here feet all. Big up on yourselves, people. Until next week, we're gone. You might even see me for Champions League. You never know. Big up on yourselves.